Hello, amazing Algebra 1 students. My name is Ms. Versalis, and I am going to teach you some more factoring. So write down the title. We have still 6.2b, still factor quadratics. But today we're going to learn how to factor quadratics when there is no GCF. The date is April 8th, 2021. And before we get started with our 4 examples of factoring quadratics with no GCF, here's a throwback for you. We've done a few of these number puzzles, and today we're going to use them. The throwback. Identify 2 numbers that multiply to 8 and add up to 6. So the strategy that I use is start with 2 numbers that multiply to 8 and make a little factor list. So the 2 numbers that could multiply to 8 would be 1 and 8. 2 times 4. 3, nope, that doesn't multiply into 8. 4 we already have. 5, nope, that does not multiply into 8. 6, no. 7, no. And then 8 we already have. So there's my pairings of numbers that multiply to 8. And they also have to add up to 6. 1 plus 8 is not 6, but 2 plus 4 is. So 2 and 4 would be my answer to the throwback. We're going to use this throwback of multiplying to 8 and adding to 6 to factor quadratics that don't have a GCF. We have 4 examples, and the directions are the same for all of the examples. The directions are factor the following expressions. Here's example 1. Factor the following expression. X squared plus 6x plus 8. This directly relates to the throwback. In order to factor this expression, we need to figure out what numbers multiply to 8 because 8 is the last number, and add up to 6. The 6x is the middle term. So we already did this work. What 2 numbers were they? 2 and 4, because 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So here's how we write our answer. We have 2 and 4. Now these were both positive numbers, so we put plus signs in front of them. And where did this x squared is going to go? Well, x times x is x squared, so that's where we write it in our answer. X plus 2 times x plus 4 is factored. Now we can check our answer by double distributing, which is what we learned right before spring break. And when we double distribute, this is how we check our answer. This is not part of our answer, it's just how we check it. Check answer. We double distribute. So I'm going to rewrite the answer that we got and double distribute to check. X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. And here's the double distribute. We distribute the second term, which is 2. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 4 is 8. Combine like terms, and we get x squared plus 6x plus 8, which was the original problem. Again, this is how you check your answer. The answer is x plus 2 times x plus 4. You can check by double distributing. Let's try another expression to factor. Here's example 2. Write it down. X squared plus x minus 12. We follow the same pattern. We need to figure out what two numbers multiply, but instead of 8, we have negative 12 here. So we have to multiply to negative 12, multiply, and add up to 1, right? If there's no number in front of the x, that would be a 1. So two numbers that multiply to negative 12 and add up to 1. I'm going to make a factor list, just like we did in the throwback. Two numbers that multiply to negative 12. That would be 1 and negative 12, or negative 1 and 12. Multiply to negative 12. 2 times negative 6, or negative 2 times 6. Multiply to negative 12. 3 times negative 4, or negative 3 times 4. Multiply to negative 12. 5? No, that doesn't work. 6 we have already. 7? Nope, that doesn't multiply into 12. 8? No. 9 does not multiply into 12. 10? No. 11? No. 12? Oh, we did that already though. So those are all the numbers that multiply to negative 12. Now we have to find which pairing also adds up to 1. Adds to 1. 2 plus negative 6, that's not 1. Nope. Ooh, it's one of these two. And if you're not sure, just use a calculator. 3 plus negative 4 is not 1. It's negative 1. We want it to add up to positive 1. So it would be my last pairing. Negative 3 plus 4 is positive 1. So I have my two pairing numbers, and now I need to write my final answer. And to write my final answer, we do it just the same way we did in example 1. Two sets of parentheses. I had negative 3 and positive 4. And then to get x squared, I have x and x. Here's my answer. X minus 3 and x plus 4. You could check your answer by double distributing, but I'm not going to do that in the notes. Example 3. X squared minus 5x plus 6. We want to factor this expression. So I need to find two numbers that multiply to 6. Multiply to 6 and add up to negative 5. Okay. I'm going to have to include some negatives in the numbers that multiply to 6. Okay, numbers that multiply to 6. Here we go. Let me make my list. 1 times 6, or negative 1 times negative 6, because two negatives multiplied by each other still gives me positive 6. So 2 times 3, or negative 2 times negative 3. 3 we already have. 4, that does not multiply into 6. Neither does 5. 6 we already have. So there's my list of numbers that multiply to 6. Now I have to find the pairing that also adds up to negative 5. Ooh, maybe, make sure you use a calculator for these. Negative 1 plus negative 6 is negative 7. No, it's the last one. Negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5. So we have our pairing. Let's write our answer. Negative 2 and negative 3. And then to get the x squared, x and x. X minus 2 and x minus 3. Done. Last example. Example 4. X squared minus 25. I don't see any middle number there. Well, I know that the numbers are going to have to multiply to negative 25. Multiply. And if I don't have that middle number there, it must be 0. If it's not written, I have to add up to 0. Okay, so two numbers that multiply to negative 25. Let's make our list. 1 and negative 25, right? They have to multiply to a negative number. Negative 1 and positive 25. 2 does not multiply into 25. Neither does 3. 4, nope. 5. 5 and negative 5. Or negative 5 and 5. 6, no. 7, no. 8 doesn't multiply into 25. And I just go all the way up down the list of numbers until we get to 25. 9, no. 10 does not multiply into 25 evenly. 11, 12, no. 13, 14, 15. None of them. These are our only numbers that multiply to negative 25. Now I just have to figure out which pairing adds up to 0. And that would be the last one. Because 5 plus negative 5 is 0. And again, use a calculator. If you're not sure which of these add up to 0, use a calculator. We got our pairing. Now let's write our answer. Positive 5 and negative 5. And then to get the x squared, we have x and x. This is how you factor quadratics when you have no greatest common factor. Have a good one.